Hello, today we're going to find out if you can 3D print heels. My three main requirements for this is that it has to look cool, be somewhat comfortable, and you can actually walk in them. So let's get started.
First, I needed a base to work with, so I made the first prototype by eyeballing the proportions. It technically works, but the fitting is way too off. It doesn't support the arch of my feet, and it's way too narrow on the foot. On the second design, I went for a more Solido style heel. I also added some fabric for some better grip and for a more professional look. This time, I used a picture of an actual heel for the side profile. The fit is much better, but I think it's too big and too tall for my preference. I also added some foam at the bottom for some grip. I think this worked pretty well. This is the third design. It has a much bigger heel for more support, and I also kept the foam like the previous one because I really like that. I also tried adding a strap, so I'm gonna test that out. Yeah, there was definitely not enough support at my ankle. For the fourth design, I tried making an exact replica of the reference shoe by taking a photo of it and calibrating it in Fusion 360. I think this is the closest I've gotten so far. Prototype 5, I made it shorter so that it's more stable, and I also need a way for it to stay on my feet, so I added these ridges and holes, so maybe I could use like a piece of ribbon so I could use it to lace it on my feet. So I do really like So it did snap, but I think that's because I use PLA, so I'm gonna try using PETG from now on because it should be stronger. However, I do really like the strap design, so I think I'll be keeping that. The next few designs were just some more fine-tuning for a better fit, but I don't know, it just looked kind of plain, and I feel like I'm not taking advantage of the fact that it's 3D printed, so it's kind of eh. Wait, actually, what if I expand the front and the back so that I have more room to add more details? So I did that, and I printed that out with the strap design. Here it is, the sizing, height, and everything is perfect. And I think now that I have the base done, I can finally focus on more of the creative designs. Now, to make it actually look like a shoe, I printed another copy of the same thing, but this time I used real leather for the bottom and the top, so that way it has a more shoe-like feel and for some better grip. And instead of hot glue, I used contact cement because apparently that's what they use in actual shoes. So here's how it looks. Yes, I know my cinematography skills are amazing, but now we need to see if it's actually walkable. Okay, they're actually pretty stable, and they're actually pretty comfortable. Of course, they're not like ultra stable because it's still like a heel, but I'm surprised. Now, of course, the shoes have to go with an outfit, so I put together an outfit. I chose this brown blazer and black shorts because I think the colors match. And I got my camera out and took some photos, and I played around with some settings in Lightroom, and I made it into a mock-up fashion magazine, and this is how it turned out. Now, this second pair is the same 3D model as the previous one, but the lace I used reminded me of blood veins, so I tried to style it after that. I used spray paint to paint it white, and I used these fake pearls for the designs, and for the blood veins, I used UV resin. To style the shoe, I went along with this white top, this red tank top, which was like the same exact shade, and this white skirt, and to color match the entire thing, I paired it with this really cute red bag. For the final design, I found these angel 3D models for free online, so I decided to use that for the heel. For the strap, I used this lace ribbon to go along with the angel theme, and I also added these pearls, like the same ones from before. Same as before, I used leather for the bottom. This was originally going to be white to make it look like marble, but I ran out of white spray paint because I used it on the other shoe. But honestly, I kind of like the silver better. So I did fall and lose a pearl, but I think it's because I tried to walk on this area, so I think I would have fallen either way because I'm not really that used to like heels in general. For the outfit, I chose this white tank top because the arm straps also have lace on it, so it matches with the straps of the shoe. And I went with this gray skirt and with this brown leather bag to match with the leather on the shoe. There you have it. After many designs, the answer is yes, you can 3D print heels, and I think they turned out really well. My favorite would probably be the silver one with the angel design. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.